Hello and welcome. My name is Tom.
And I'm Heather.
And you're sitting at the Couples Table.
Couples Table is a live stream podcast here on this channel. Join us for better or worse.
For richer or poorer.
Oh, through sickness and in health.
As long as we both shall live.
I don't know what happened there. I'm frazzled today. Sorry. Some of the connections are not firing. I totally thought I hit go live and we were just sitting here jamming out to the music. And we weren't actually counting down. I don't know. It's one of those days. Yeah. My bad. I was napping before this, so maybe I'm still waking up. Anyway, hello, everybody. Hello. Shout out to the Just Create More pre-party peeps.
Yeah.
We were just having too much fun over there.
VIP.
So let's go down the list and say hi. Business Growth Ready. Do you tell the wife you ordered an RCP2? Yes, it will not stand out compared to the
2 times DBX 286s and Focusrites. Oh, shoot.
Mr. Camera Junkie, what's up? Hot Tub Lady in the house. Jorge, what's up? Action Crypto's here too. I remember back in the 80s, spent a long time in a nice, perfectly warm steam bath. After 9 months, some doctor said I had to come out. He popped my bubble, and the rest is history. Oh. I was like, what are we talking about? Homesick Mac is here. Miro Davis. I made it. Caught up on all your latest. I'm considering the new devices that rode into town. Thanks, Tom and Heather.
They sure are
Morty
great.
is here. So good to see you, man. Roger, what's up? Good to see you.
Ramirez is here.
Spiral Lab. What's up, Marta? Bailey. Hello. Curiosity Network Podcast. Good to see you. Shock Song.
Matt's here from Music City, USA. I just got a new guitar pedal yesterday that was built in Nashville.
Megan. Hello, Megan. Todd. What's up? Call Me Cubby's here. Peter Greg. Hello from Miami, as long as we both shall live. And the Real Pell Room. The Real Pell Room was like the only one who commented that your drums weren't in the back.
Oh, it's like an I Spy situation.
Yeah. Dan. Hi, Dan. LBC REC. What's up? Is that a Rode Procaster? And do you like it?
It is a Procaster. There are a lot of pros to using it for your casts, sir.
Okay, so can we first talk about the big announcement?
The Procaster that I'm using right now?
No, the RCP2. We can talk about it now, right?
Oh, yeah. It's public knowledge.
Okay, so if you guys were following the vlogs, like back in March and April, that was the big project that Tom was working on.
Yeah, that was
Isn't that like really cool? I wish I was
we were supposed to go to New York for.
Yeah, that was all the road stuff. And I was like, oh, everyone would be so excited if they knew. And yeah. I wish we could have It's crazy
because it's really the first time for them that they have done the product announcement followed up by a product launch. Usually Rode just
I hit it again.
Announces a product and then it is launched. So this was a little bit different, and it's obviously a bigger, really complex product. So I was lucky enough to start talking to them about it in February, which was super cool. And then I've kind of seen the process develop over the past however many months that's been. And now it's great because it's sitting in the next room, and I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that maybe sometime this weekend I can get out my first video that features it in use, which would be probably what everybody wants to see and hear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Rambling Vlogger says, I have no use for an RCP2 or 1 at this stage of my YouTube career, but I want one. Yeah, I will never have use for it, but I appreciate what it is.
There's things that you don't have I really don't need 3 full frame Sony cameras, but I want them, so I have them and I use them.
I don't want one though.
Yeah,
I don't even want a Rodecaster.
If you want it and you can get it without putting yourself into financial hardship or being financially responsible, there's nothing wrong with that. If you want to get an Alexa Mini or whatever, an RE whatever, a total movie camera to do your live stream, and you got the budget, go for it. But if you don't want that, it doesn't even matter if you have the budget for it or not.
Wait, I like seeing the lamp in the back.
Oh.
But I'm just covering it like that. All right, so today we're talking about the biggest issue facing creators. Wow. What is that, Tom?
There are a lot of issues facing creators.
Tom, which pedal? You can tell guitar pedal.
You know what? Actually, can I show and tell?
You're asking me? Oh. It's our show. You don't have to ask me for permission, babe.
I take time and derail sometimes.
He doesn't have to ask me. Hey, Angela. Good to see you. Uh, what were we gonna talk about today? The biggest issue, acing. I was gonna say issue acing.
Acing. So
Issue acing.
here's my pedal. It's from a company called what was the company? Rude Tech. But it's the Aquabats, my favorite band. Their guitar player put together a pedal. I put it all away after I used it because it comes in this like super cool packaging, and it's a pretty sweet pedal because yeah, basically it's two pedals in one. So it's an overdrive and a distortion pedal in one, and then you can like blend the two pedals together. So it's like two circuits. Cool part too about it is, other than it sounds really good, I've been using it with my bass, which is what I really wanted to use it for, and it works really great on the bass. On the inside, it's autographed and numbered, which is really cool, and it's so custom that even the PCB boards have like the Aquabats logo, my favorite band, printed on the boards themselves, so it's not just like a rebadged existing thing. Like it was something they worked on for a long time from the ground up, and it's super exciting. So this was my pedal built in Nashville, and it's awesome. And the company again was Rude Tech, but they were super polite, so maybe they should.
I don't even know why I tried.
What happened?
I was gonna try to find the gold one, so you can have the gold one, which
Oh, it won't fit
I'm
on
realizing
here,
it won't
yeah.
fit. But I was like, I don't know why I tried looking for anything in his studio because I don't
There's
know
a
where
whole shelf of
anything
just
is.
mic windscreens.
Well, I saw a shelf that was labeled filters, and I was like, maybe that's it. That's not
Oh no,
it.
it's on one of the actual shelves. It's not in a drawer because
I don't know.
these won't get hurt if they fall off a shelf in an earthquake or something.
Anyways, okay,
So anyway, that was what I got. That was the pedal I got. Came from Nashville. Yay.
Biggest issue facing Chris spouses. I was a little worried the RCP2 made drum sets vanish.
No, they're in our bedroom now.
Hey, Obs. Good to see you. Caleb McCool. What's up? I returned my 6 feet old RCP1, pre-ordered the RCP2. I don't need either one, but it is better, so I want
if you
one.
just got the first one, I mean, there's really no reason not to just go with the new one. Like, there really isn't, because the first one probably isn't getting any updates, and the new one's going to get a ton of updates, you know? And it is better.
So let's get into it.
Okay, biggest issue facing creators. So that obviously could fall into a whole lot of categories, but
we've been talking. We've been talking offline throughout the day for multiple
Off pod.
days. Off pod. Yeah, and like this morning I was like, okay, clearly we have a topic and we need to condense it into like something that we can involve the couples table people on. So I'm actually not even sure how we open this door.
So here's how I can try to contextualize it, and you can tell me if I'm wrong. Because
Okay, cool.
this stemmed from an idea Heather had as she was trying to navigate things for her channel, and it ended up with a really cool result, and that's what we want to share today. But in her trying to explain it to me, I started understanding it more. And I think a lot of it comes down to, we'll just stick to YouTube specifically. So at this point, there are 2.5 billion active accounts on YouTube. Not channels, but just accounts. There are, 7.5 billion people on planet Earth. So a very large percentage of the Earth's population is on this platform, which means, I mean, talk about the Roadcaster. Okay, the number of people who send me messages saying they want it to have more channels versus the number of people who send me messages saying they want to have fewer channels, they want a smaller one. You'll never make everybody happy. That's an audio interface that is a pretty niche product. 2.5 billion people. It's very hard to make everybody happy. And obviously not all of them are creators and making stuff. But what that means is if you are somebody who wants to make stuff, you're naturally going to look around you and see what other people have done and see what's successful and try to follow best practices. And there's no shortage of all that kind of info on YouTube. And the tricky part is I can tell you what I've done that's worked for me, and you could do exactly the same thing and get completely different results, and vice versa. So there is it's not putting together the IKEA furniture, like follow these directions, get this output. It's a lot of trial and error. And one thing that happens with a lot of creators is they get discouraged and feel like failures because they're following a template that some might even call best practices that wasn't created by them, for them, with them in mind, or anything. And now because they're not living up to those standards, it feels like they're failing or things aren't working the way that they should. And then they lose steam. Whereas it might have been possible for them to see success and feel better if they had done things a different way, kind of.
Yeah. And I guess my worry, it's hard to talk about this for me because like what I will say will depend on what hat I'm wearing.
Right.
So I'm trying to see like how to get into this, but basically like from a very broad, let's start broad, right? My issue is, okay, what's really cool about YouTube and all these tools is that it's really accessible to anybody. I think we've proven that. So everyone has a cell phone and there's no barrier to entry. And whether you're 9 years old or 90 years old, you can create content, share your passion, find your voice, connect with the people that are like-minded because you are no longer, bound by land and time. Like you can literally connect with anybody, anywhere, anytime. And that's that's honestly like, I wish we could stop and take a second. That
just
is
appreciate
pure
that.
magic.
Yeah.
That is magic. Okay. Like ask anyone 50 years ago, they'd be like, that is magic. That's sorcery. That's insane that you can do that.
Burn them at the stake.
Yeah, like that's magic, and the fact that it's free, like we could just do this is crazy. Right. But with that being said, I think that there was a huge rise of new creators because of the pandemic, but I also think that's not going to go away. So we probably saw a bubble burst, but now that the next generation is a generation where the internet has always existed from before birth, like it's just going to be more normal and accessible. Yeah. But to me, the issue is that as new people come into this space, what makes me sad that, or a fear of mine, is that it is, at first, what I want to say is that it's driven by an itch to share something that you're passionate about. So say it's woodworking or cameras or video games or
conspiracy theories.
Yeah, whatever. Journaling, fitness, whatever it is. Like you're passionate about a particular thing and you're like, oh, this is a medium where I can like do creative expression, share what I'm passionate about, and connect with like-minded people, and that's really cool. And then what very, very quickly happens is that, oh, this is what you have to do to see success on this platform, and no longer are you driven by the personal goal of creative expression and whatever it was that you're passionate about. Now you're driven by platform best practices, need to drive up watch time, need to, make Instagram reels and do all these like things to see never-ending growth as a creator. And I wonder how that affects everything, because now I feel like what's happening is a lot of the content that is going to be out there is just so optimized for like you watch a Mr. Beast video, you don't even know what's happening. Like it's just there's nothing. It's just like it's almost in a different language because it's just so cut and it's so snappy and it's so like that it's that's the content that is now surfacing because everyone has felt like that's the thing that you have to do to succeed, rather than like no, like stick to your gut. And here's the flip side to that, which is why like I've been thinking about this is like, I feel like a lot of people who have seen success, a lot of the people that we even hear from, but for some reason we forget along the way, did it their own way.
Yeah.
Like they did it their own way. They weren't following best practices. They weren't following the YouTube gurus. They just like, what's his name? Dad, How Do I? That was like the dad who had grown adult kids and was now just making videos about how to change a tire, how to tie a tie, and now is in the millions. This is a guy who's using his cell phone. Like everything was not, I can pick apart that channel and it'll be everything that like you're not supposed to do.
Right.
I mean, obviously there's things that worked, but like I appreciate stories like that where you didn't do the thing that people you're supposed to do, and you still found success how you define it. And to tie it back here, and then I promise I will get off the box. But what I really like about Tom and I is that we're such an example of like what not to do on YouTube. And like, it's a fine balance because obviously a lot of people here that are on the couples table and a lot of people that we talk to and Just Create More and all of that are creators themselves. So to me, there's a responsibility of people look to us for guidance about how to navigate this space. But I think the thing that I want to show is that, okay, like today, Tom's video was what? How long is it?
30 minutes.
30 minutes, okay?
29 minutes.
In a 3-part series, all with 25-minute plus videos. I would be willing to bet that most YouTube gurus or most YouTube experts, most YouTube, like, we're going to tell you how to like, you know, like see success on YouTube would tell you that is way too long. Are you kidding? 27-minute video? Who's going to watch a 27-minute video? Cut it, you know, make it shorter, make it snappier, or break your 27-minute video into 3 videos that are all less than 10 minutes. And then that way, now you're getting people going down the rabbit hole and like blah, blah, blah. And now you're increasing viewer session time and all these things. But then if you look at Tom, this does not strike me as a person who feels like they're failing. You know, like your channel is growing. You just had an incredible like Rodecaster Pro 2 launch that you've been a part of. You had your wife on your live stream.
Sure did. You
are doing this full time. Like the channel isn't dying, clearly.
Yeah, it's not growing as fast as it could.
Right.
Right.
But then I feel like maybe what happens is that people get caught up in like, I just have to keep growing always. So we always have to look for like wherever you can trim the fat kind of thing. Like you just always do that. And I feel bad that like how do you find the balance between what you're supposed to do and what you've started to do in the first place? Okay, I'm done.
So here's what I'll add on to that, because I like everything that you said, and I think that it's very impassioned. But Action Crypto, I highlighted your thing, or I favorited it, where you said you don't think the two, I don't know how to add this on here, you don't think the two can coexist. So I'm going to try to objectively use my prop that I didn't expect to have, which is my Aquabats pedal. So I'm going to put my finger over this knob here just to not confuse anybody. The way that this guitar pedal works is, well, screw it, I don't want to put my finger over it. Just pretend this middle knob's not here.
Okay.
This is 2 pedals in one, right? You can turn this to adjust like the settings of one pedal, this to adjust the settings of the other pedal, and this knob down here blends them together. So you could do all one, all the other, or something in the middle.
Okay.
What I think one of the things that Heather is talking about right now is if you look at YouTube best practices, which is typically purely based on numbers, like how fast is your channel growing? What are your views? How, you know, all of those things. Like, it's not about you want to reach this specific person or this specific audience. It's like, let's dig through your analytics. Let's look at who's watching. Let's look at what that person's watching. And let's make more stuff that person's going to watch over here. And let's break it down so they keep watching more and more and more. There's that side of it. So that could be, say, this knob over here, the purely analytical, like, I am just, here's this platform. I'm Rain Manning the numbers so that I can like figure out exactly the most optimized content to make. And as a creator, I don't necessarily care what the content is. Like, I want to grow, so whatever the content is, I'll go in that direction. Then there's the other side, which is I'm going to make whatever I want, whenever I want, however I want, knowing that there's a pretty good chance it probably won't cause me to grow. Like, if you start a brand new channel and you've never done this before and you just start out with some daily vlogs,
no one's gonna find
probably
your
no
channel.
one's gonna get to, no one's gonna, unless there's a crazy hook like you're daily vlogging on the space shuttle or something. Like, I don't know. So there's those two extremes, right? Just speaking very generally. I think that it feels like a lot of creators are stuck. Like, do I just do this over here where I'm focused on the numbers because that's what everyone says I need to focus on, that's how to grow? And then there's the people over here who are just doing things their own way. But I think what you find is a lot of people who are successful are people who did it their own way with a purpose in mind. Like, it wasn't just sort of random, but they kind of did their own thing. it took off for whatever reason because in some way people are connecting to it. And if you look at the YouTube platform, the algorithm is out there. It's trying to get people to watch more videos. So it's trying to figure out what people want to watch and then showing that to them. By the time that someone has analyzed that, figured out what you need, it's already kind of like old news. It's like by the time a crazy fashion trend hits Target, it's like an out-of-date fashion trend because it's like filtered down to just like general department stores. So the thing I don't think creators understand is that as a creator, you have the ability to decide. Remember this knob that blends these two things together? You can decide where you want to put that knob. And there's no wrong way. If you want to crank it all the way over here and just be the analytics person to grow as fast as possible, that's cool. Just know that that means you're probably not going to necessarily get the creative fulfillment of like, well, there's this really cool 45-minute thing I want to make that explores something. No, but you can crank it over, maximize everything, grow really fast. You crank it really far in the other direction and go, I don't care about any of that. I don't care if nobody watches. If it literally says no views next to my video, I want to make my own thing and I'm going to be proud of myself for making something. Or you can dial it anywhere in the middle. Like, hey, which I'll say personally, I'm probably somewhere in the middle where it's like, here's the videos I want to make. Here's the videos I want to make that actually are relevant to the audience of this channel. And I'll look and go like, hey, this video did pretty well. So those people would probably be interested in this over here. I could maximize that and take my 30-minute video and break it down into 4 other videos that all link together and all that. And that would actually be better for my channel. But that I think is going to annoy the people like the people in the chat right here who watched my whole video today probably would get kind of annoyed by that. So instead of alienating my audience that I care about, I'll dial it back a little bit, probably sacrifice a little bit of growth, but increase my personal like creative satisfaction. And I don't think a lot of creators are aware that you can choose where you set that dial on the spectrum. You don't have to be one or the other. You can kind of, you're going to, it's a, a compromise, I guess. You're going to like trade off things here and there, but you can choose that. And that's going to then set the tone for how you approach everything else. Sorry, I went on for a long time.
No, so did I. But another thing is like when you, I agree it's about finding the balance, but also I think if you're going to create anything, there's like no one wants to do no views, otherwise just paint and like
put it on
don't
Google
upload
Drive
it.
or something.
Yeah. So like I think we all want to connect
Right.
with other people. That's that's why we create an account and put ourselves out there. But what annoys me about the like constant growth is that there's just no acknowledgement for the current audience that's there. So it's like a lot of people would look at your channel or the way that you're doing things and being like, why aren't you, God, there's so many opportunities to like, really grow. But like, if you're having a good time, isn't that enough? Like,
yeah, well,
isn't that enough?
Well, it's also like I was reading just yesterday, I forget which company it was, but as things economically are like pretty rocky at the moment, it was some company, I don't remember what, some tech-based company that had several quarters of like $11 billion in profit. But it was like 3 quarters of $11 billion in profit. And because of that, their stock is tanking because they're not growing. Keep in mind, they still made $11 billion of profit 3 quarters in a row.
But your profit like rate isn't increasing, right. So now it's like red, right? Even
though it's like it isn't.
and that's how I feel like it's like
there's nothing. What is wrong with just going, this is great, let's just cruise here for a while because we're doing great. Like if you think of Netflix like losing subscribers, I don't think it was Netflix as the company, but it's like you can't have 7 billion subscribers. So at a certain point, you might have just literally reached the number of people on planet Earth who can subscribe. And that's fine. Like, can't that be okay? No, I know it can't. But that's the thing where it's like...
So Victor, like, you don't think they can coexist. I totally think that they can coexist. And I think that they should coexist.
I think it's important for each creator to decide
that's
consciously
the part
where
that's
where they want to go. And that's the big issue because that's going to determine how you approach everything else.
And to tie it all back, okay, this is my amazing husband.
That's right.
Okay? Because this guy I can personally say that I have seen Tom's entire YouTube journey from day one. I am the only person in the whole world that can say that. And most of us don't have a person who's seen, like, well, actually, a lot of you guys have started. Like, I saw Ashton Crypto, you're a pandemic creator. So, like, maybe you have people who have seen since day one. But, like, you're like 5 years, right? 4 years. 5 years. And I have been there since day one. And every step of the way, there have been times where Tom has paid for YouTube consulting. You have the book YouTube Secrets. You've been in the Reddit forums. You've done your research. I was a YouTube coach. We talk all the time. Yeah. You got your resources.
I'm not trying to fail.
Yeah, of course. Like, of course, right? Yeah, like, no. We want to invest and be the best creator that we can be. So I'm not saying, like, just do whatever you want because creative expression. No. But one thing that I have to, like, I just want to give you credit for is that whenever there was something that just didn't feel right, no matter how much of a best practice it was, and no matter how many people saw success with that, no matter how, like, every person who was telling you, like, this is how you should, and you tried to do you should, and you're like, it just isn't, it's not fitting, you just stopped. And I feel like what happened, because you are you and I am me, I did not stop. And I would just keep going and keep trying when I have no regrets. But looking back, I think I could have just saved myself a lot of,
it's a lot of square peg
mental gymnastics. Yeah. Of, like, if you, like, double down on play to your strengths, play to what comes naturally to you. And it, like, other people might look at what you're doing and tell you should, but they don't know how much fun you're having, how easy it comes for you. Like, maybe there's just something that comes really easy for you. And if you just double down on that, like, double down on, this is what I like doing, what I enjoy doing, and whatever, like, what if that is the thing that leads to growth faster than if you were to try to force a formula that more people have seen success with? Like, isn't the whole point of YouTube to
broadcast
express
yourself?
You the way that you are you, right? Like, the individuality, rather than, like,
well, there's a thing which is very hard, and it makes sense if somebody's trying to give actual answers to look towards numbers and data and quantitative things, but there is, for lack of a better term, the X factor that some people just have. There are just people who I will listen talk about anything and be fascinated by it. And there are other people, like yesterday, I think I was watching a tutorial about something, and I can't tell you how much I fast forward, and I looked down, the video was 3 minutes long, and I was like,
wow,
this is the longest 3 minutes of my life. Like, that person did not have the thing that pulls you in. And that's a skill that can be built and refined and everything. But that's also part of it, is a lot of times when you see people who have success, they just sort of have an approach. I mean, the people who have, like, meteoric success, a lot of times they kind of have an approach or a perspective or a personality. They have that X factor that just draws people in, and you can't plan for that.
Well, so the reason why we're talking about this, and I know we haven't checked in on comments in a while, but the reason why we started talking about this is because I want to get back to my tutorial channel. So I have 2 YouTube channels. This is one of them. The other one is youtube.com/Heather Ramirez. And that's, like, I don't even know how to describe it right now, but it started out with, like, me creating a channel to promote digital literacy. So I wanted to help people figure out how to use these tools to achieve meaningful goals, whatever that goal is for them. And then, like, 6 years later, I was a YouTube coach. I would help people, like, learn how to share their stories and build their brands on YouTube. And now, like, as I'm trying to revisit that, I am what I'm going to do. Okay. Cause the thing is, I need to follow somebody. It's just how my mind works. Like, I think at some point the training wheels will come off and I'll find my rhythm and do my thing. But especially in a time where, like, I'm still unsure, I need to, like, follow someone, for example. So, I've taken the online courses, I've gotten the consulting, I've gotten coaches and all these things, and the masterminds and all these things. And for some reason, I've never looked to Tom as my, like, example. So that's what I'm gonna do, like to an extreme degree, where literally
She's gonna grow beard.
I'm just copying his YouTube channel word for word, basically, but translating it into,
through your lens.
Yeah. So Tom is enthusiastic about audio and video, and for me, it just happens to be YouTube. So I'm gonna, instead of, because what I've done before is like, how are all these other like business gurus and Instagram and YouTube people are doing it and all of that. Like I tried to do that, and I just have to tell myself like something isn't clicking.
Mm-hmm.
But I obviously, like, why haven't I tried looking at Tom? So that's what I'm gonna do. And then eventually, like I said, I'm hoping the training wheels come off. But one thing that I'm really excited about is because you have always done it your way, and I want to. It's hard for me not to go back to, old habits die hard. So, like, I can't help but be like, what are people going to search for? Like, I got to make sure that this is, like, optimized for YouTube. And, like, that I just default to that. And I completely forget, am I putting the Heather X factor in this channel? Yeah. Like, I can't help but think that way. So yeah, now let's check it in the comments. You can say whatever you were going to say.
No, that's a great
playing
thing to check in.
Mihal, good to see you. Playing the algorithm makes us all sad. As social creatures, is nice to get some credit or feedback, and when you don't, it's hard to maintain momentum. Yes, Miro said they watched your video and 27 minutes
Excuse me.
was too short.
No,
so
thank you very much.
Broke the rules of my very first channel transition video with close to 10 minutes of no talking while I made mac and cheese and chicken burgers.
On the trending page.
I'm trying to reach the masses for the numbers success. You may not reach the community that shares your passion.
Yeah, I mean, and there's also nothing wrong with trying on different hats. And, like, it's not like you would know from day one, this is exactly what I need. Like, you have to play in the different, like, sandboxes to figure out what your combo is.
Yeah, and this. So I love this. My growth goals are 100% tied to making a solid, modest, middle-class living.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of people don't think that, though. Like, it doesn't even cross their mind. I think just the gap is too big. It's like huge, famous, super rich YouTube
Ferraris
creators
in a mansion and crazy
and then,
insanity.
Like, I don't qualify for AdSense yet. And then there's just this huge gap in the middle. And like,
yeah.
Because obviously the people like Tom, like they're smaller channels. They're not on the news. Like they don't,
Yeah, most people will never hear about them.
Yeah, you don't hear about them because obviously their audience isn't that big. 100%. It is totally possible to have a, the middle class. I don't know if that's the word. I know we talked about that might not being the word, but growth is a dangerous addiction. There, I've said it, not just on YouTube.
Yeah, that's a human thing.
Yeah.
You get, yeah.
Michael, I had a disagreement with a person I was creating content with who kept saying people only watch 5 minutes on YouTube, and how many eyeballs can we get, rather than basing videos on the vision.
Yeah, I mean that's such a.
Okay,
that sounds like a manager.
Here's another example. How many of you guys tuned in to Tom's Rodecaster Pro 2 live stream, which was what Tuesday? Today's Thursday.
I don't know what day. It was Monday.
Was it Monday?
Yeah, it's Monday night.
I don't know what day it is. Okay, so a few days ago, Tom had the biggest live stream he's ever had, and I happened to be on it. That was really fun.
The biggest.
But he had like 640 people concurrently on stream. So like we have 38 people. He had 640 people, which was totally nuts. It was a 90-minute live stream. I can confidently say there was at least 400, probably 500 the whole 90 minutes. And then by that logic, it's like, who's going to watch a YouTube video for 90 minutes? Who's going to watch a YouTube video longer than 5 minutes? What are you talking about? And the company reached out to you and said, like, wow, you had people there for 90 minutes.
Like, since we didn't have the release firmware for the stream, we couldn't like show the actual thing like in action. We could just show the physical thing of it. And they were like, you did a really great job with a thing that could only light up. It's like, and the reason was honestly, just because I'm not trying to market this product. Like, yeah, it is cool. And like, I kind of want people to know about it. And as someone who recommends the Rodecaster a lot, I want people to know like there is a new one. Like, so that's important for you to know, but I'm just excited about it. like as someone who's interested in it, which is why like I wanted Heather to be there, even though she's not into the roadcast at all, because she can just sort of hang out and also be excited about it and have fun with it. And we might make mistakes and we might not talk about every specification, and someone's going to ask me some question I don't even know what it means. I don't like, that's not
before the stream started, Tom started to get nervous because there was like 300 people waiting or something insane. And I looked at him and I said, Tom, this is your room, okay? People are coming to your room. You do whatever you do in your space, in your room. If this was like, okay, you know, the company is reaching out and saying, we're going to sponsor you.
Yeah, it's not like a paid
video.
Right?
You have bullet points you need to talk about. This, it was none of that. We
didn't even know we were doing the stream until like 20 minutes before.
Literally. Like 20
like,
minutes before, he was like, I think I'm going to do a stream. I was like, Tom is going to do an impromptu stream. I immediately grabbed my phone. I was like, just create more. He's about to go live. I don't even know.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay. Great point, finding that mid-level volume. I've helped multiple YouTube channels grow over the last 10 years. Some reaching over 1 million subs. When I went into this 1 year ago, I decided to be me, but adding in things that knew would increase reach. Yeah.
So going back to my like pedal knob blending analogy, like when I started, I was very much over here on the I'm just going to create whatever I want. I'll never even use an affiliate link, like that kind of stuff. And then that I realized not only it wasn't like, well, I do really want to grow, but it was like people didn't want that, is what I learned. Like people were like, please, like give us an affiliate link because it's easier for us. Also, we want to support you. Okay, I'll dial that there. Oh, you like these videos I make? Well, I can talk about that more. I'll do that here. So like naturally over time, I kind of dialed it over based on what was working for me and the viewer. But yeah, I definitely started on one extreme and then dialed it back, and you know, you were the other one and dialing it back.
Okay, so here, Mike, what I'm realizing is the longer my videos are, the longer my average watch time. Average watch time is 5 minutes on my 10-minute videos, but average watch time is 14 minutes on my 30
Which is really
videos.
funny, and this is where it all falls apart, is because, okay, so I have a 29-minute video this week, right? Okay. And if the average view duration, I'm just making this up, but say it's 25% is like the average view duration. So, I don't know, 25% of 29, I shouldn't have picked this number.
Yeah, you got to do like
whatever. Say next week I come out with it's we'll say it's
20 minutes.
That is not 25% of 29.
No, if you do cuz 5 divided by 4.
We'll just say 20. The aaverage view duration is 6 minutes, 6.5 minutes, something like that. Okay. Say next week, this isn't the case, but say next week my video just happens to be 4 minutes long or 3 minutes long.
Yeah.
And 100% of the people who watch that video watch the entire 3 or 4 minutes. YouTube analytically is going to mark that video down. I'm going to get the down sad arrow because only 3 minutes was being watched versus my 6 minutes last time, even though it's literally impossible for more than 3 minutes to be watched because the video is only 3 minutes long. And that's where it's like, you can't, so the only thing to do is just like keep making the exact same length video, or keep like every week it gets a minute longer or something. And it's like, you'll drive yourself crazy. The video's as long as it needs to be. Like it was originally an hour and a half and now
like,
it's
obviously,
30 minutes. And...
you know, the balance is like, obviously we want to like share our story and we want people to watch our content and we have a goal, right? And there is, obviously, like we should be proud of the stuff that we're creating, and of course we want the right people to watch it. And we also have to know the tools of our trade, and we have to understand like how the YouTube platform works and all of these things. But it's just like I think the reason why I get frustrated is because whenever it's something that discourages creators, I just get sad.
Right.
Like,
yeah. You and I are both that way with
I just get sad. Yeah, like I just get so mad because for an adult person to be excited about something is a rare thing, and if you like shove all these you should and all these like YouTube analytics, you should be doing this, like you just take away the magic.
Yeah.
And it's a balance. Like obviously it's a balance. Yes, this could be a full-time job. It can provide income. It can, you know, I found my husband, endless possibilities, but you know, I don't know. Now I don't even know what I'm saying. Okay. You have to draw that line early so you don't lose yourself when things do pick up.
Yeah. Build that foundation.
I feel like there should also be an assessment at each level, whatever you deem that level to be, when you decide which side of the pedal you want to go for too.
Right. I mean that, yeah, it's constant like self-evaluation because you'll also just change over time, you know.
Be Your Platform says, thank you so much. I needed this so
I
much.
like the username.
Yeah.
And the profile picture.
Awesome explanation. I saw Beardless Tom for the first time in 2019 top-down shopping because without glide gear it hard. Stoops. I know, because that's my Tom. We're watching the bike race Giro d'Italia, and in sprint finishes, the best sprinters have a lead-out man who takes them right up to the finish. Tom is your lead-out man. Yeah.
Right. That's that's like the pace setter, like the person who's.
I just need to like follow somebody until the training wheels come off. So that way I'm not second guessing myself. But that leads me to something that I'm so like, we've had all these discussions throughout the week, and then I made something to help me get centered and remember my purpose and my goals and how I choose to do this YouTube thing the way that I want to do it, but also take it seriously, be proud of it, and want it to grow. Yeah.
Let's finish checking with comments and then share that, because that's really like the core of our stream today, honestly.
So Heather, maybe, just maybe, you've been too close to the answer.
You can't see the forest for the trees. Yeah. Huh.
Because I'm too close.
Oh, I was like...
I literally watched the RCP2 twice.
That's because it's 2.
Audience size also varies tremendously depending on the topic. A lot of people compare themselves to channels that they shouldn't at all.
Very true. Yeah.
I still haven't watched a Mr. Beast video.
Right.
But I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Mike says, definitely made it to the middle class stage. Used my YouTube channel to get my tenure track professor appointment. Wow. It was my X factor because it gave me legitimacy as a public educator.
That's awesome.
Yeah, congrats. Josh is here. What's up, Josh?
Hi, Josh. Robotrix, one watch long format streams videos, even 8-hour streams with one guy talking.
I mean, there are definitely channels out there where when like they post a new video and I see it's like 50 minutes long or whatever, I'm like, yes, like I want to.
Call me, Cubby.
I watched it. I have zero interest.
You both are just so genuine. It's always fun to watch you guys chat and teach. Oh, that's so sweet. My work on social media has now been cited in 2 recently published books. That's amazing.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, they say you can't put a price on that, but the books probably do have prices.
Heather, you should get an RCB2 so that you can make all the colors pink and purple. I feel like I keep hitting this. My bad.
Yeah, the customization is pretty sweet.
It felt really affirming. Oh, that's so awesome.
Yeah.
I'm not ready for the Roadcaster yet, but I watched full time because you are practically doing a happy dance.
Well, I mean, that was where, what I really tried to remember is like that, my very first Roadcaster video was me I got it because it solved problems that I'd had since 2014. Like I was trying to build podcast setups and running into issues. And this thing came out that solved all of those problems for me. And I was so excited about it. And I didn't even know what my channel was at the time. It was like vlogs and 3D printing and whatever, and then I was like, I want to make a video about this thing, and that kind of like helped give direct. But that was just because I was like super excited about it, and it was new and no one knew about it, and like I tried to remember that's the whole thing that drew people in the first place. And and that is currently the most popular video on my channel, that original Roadcaster review.
And like this is why I like the couples table, because I want there somewhere to exist an example of this other, maybe not the most popular way of doing things.
Oh, if you want not the most popular, I'm your guy.
Shut up. God.
I'm sorry.
Babe. Gosh, no. Let's see. Latest comment left on my video. Bad video. You talked way too much. Wasted 10 minutes of life hearing you say people have negative comments and that's okay, over and over again.
It's like, didn't you? Sad someone forced them to watch the whole thing, huh?
Didn't you start getting weird comments on your live stream?
I've been getting weird ones late. Oh, on the live stream?
Yeah.
The live stream is I've been getting a lot of like global economic comments of like, well, the price is different in Europe and in my country it's a different price. And I'm like, dude, I don't care or know about that. Like, I am a guy in a room talking
in
about
our house,
like I don't
with your wife.
What do you want me to do about that? I'm sorry that the dollar to euro like conversion. Like, I don't know. Roadcaster's cool. That's what I know. The finances is your problem. Like, I deal with it. You know, it's like when people say something is it's way too expensive. Is it? Because other people, it's not too expensive at all. Like, what do you need it for?
It's not for you, bro.
Like,
Move along.
Yeah, like, not everything has to be for everybody.
Chris, love your pedal knob analogy. In therapy, we call it the and also. Things can be both. It just depends on where the scale you want both to be. That's great.
I like
and
that.
Also. Heather, if you lower your head a little, you will have a halo. Yes. Halo. When will you know you're ready not to follow Tom?
That's a good question.
Well, let me show you what I came up with.
Yeah. I think what will happen is you'll just sort of naturally.
Yeah. Because I think the hardest part is starting. And I've done this for 6 years, but the way that my mind works, I naturally tend to, I think we talked about this. I go 200% and then 0 and then 200% and 0. So I really do feel like a new chapter is beginning. Like, I feel like it's not just a level up, but it's like I'm turning like level 40. You know, this isn't just like level 37. Like, this is like a new tier, and just like I just feel like it's time for the next level.
You're ready to buck it up.
Yeah. Yes.
I think your impulse was to say yes before you realized what I said.
And then, so what I'm gonna do is because it's right now. Maybe next week I'll be fine, right? But just like because I'm at the edge of the cliff, like, you know, about to jump out of the plane, like it's that scary spot of like you're at the starting line and you're just about to go. That's the like hardest point to be in. Once you get going, it's very easy to find your rhythm. You know what feels good. Like, you'll start to get feedback, and you know the channel, there are people there, so it'll be I'll get feedback immediately,
right.
And that'll help guide me, you know. So it really could just be right now where I'm like, I haven't even recorded the next video for that. So we'll see. Okay. Mini studio creator. Andrew's here. Sorry I'm late to the party. I would pay serious money to bring the ice bucket challenge, Heather dumping a bucket of ice water on top. I didn't do it, but I brought it to the school I was working at. So I was like, I challenge the headmaster, and then every faculty had to do it. But I actually never ended up
we did the Harlem Shake with our entire student population. Yeah. But it was like 2,500 kids. It was really cool.
Let's see. What's up, James? Heather, just don't do the puns. I can't if I tried. Like, I don't understand how you do it.
It's a mental condition.
I don't know how you do it. If we said that Tom only had to talk in puns for the rest of the stream, he could do it. I would just be quiet because I don't
know if I could do it because
here it is. He's already.
No, see, my brain didn't work. See, now it's like I'm on the spot. I can't do it.
You're not alone, Heather. I'm usually at 0, 100, 2. I need to step up. Let's do it. Yeah, and then also, like, I have ADHD, so I think that's very typical of people who have ADHD. It's like we're just like hyper focus or just like, huh? I feel the same way about leveling up, Heather. It's counterintuitive that sometimes you need to slow down to get ahead. Yes. Okay.
Now we can share the thing that Heather has made. This is super cool, and this is something I'm excited about that I'm really excited that you have. So I'll let you take it from there.
I feel like I should read it first before showing it. Or do I show it and read it at the same time?
I don't know.
I'm already overthinking it.
Yeah.
Okay, so here I have tried to make something like this for actually a really long time, because I remember trying this at my apartment in Long Beach. But I wanted to come up with a personal mission statement. So I have a mission statement because, man, 6 years ago, I actually thought I was going to start a nonprofit for ShareSpark Media, and
right.
My mission statement: to educate and empower people to utilize digital media to achieve meaningful goals. I'm still very proud of that, but it's not a personal mission statement in terms of like, what are my goals and what am I trying to achieve and what's my purpose? And what I have found being 6 years into this is that, like, I don't know if it's that it's easy for me to lose my footing, but just because of the way that my mind works, I'm constantly second guessing myself, even though I'm sure there are people who will tell me like, what, why do you have to second guess yourself? I just constantly do. So I feel like what I need is like a purpose that is set in stone that will be like my North Star. And I just like come back to this whenever I feel lost, or even when I'm trying to start the day, I just like get centered around this thing. So I came up with Heather's Creator Creed, and I'm so excited to share it with you. And I encourage you guys, because YouTube is a creative endeavor, to come up with your own version of this. So whenever you feel yourself getting lost, feeling down, getting caught up in the numbers, like you remember why you're doing this, because there's a bigger picture.
It's your North Star to kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Ready?
So
What?
I don't know. You do you.
Okay. I'm going to split the screen, this one. Hold on. I didn't pick the right thing. How do I change this to...
This is like us commenting on the stream that's happening right now. Remember when you said that 28 seconds ago? Boy, those were good times. Secondary.
Pages.
Oh, how about that?
There it is.
Even better. But now we have to like...
Oh, hello. I can't like make this bigger. Or here, let me do this. Nope.
Wow. Wait. Now it's even crazier.
How's that?
That's fine.
Wait. Boom. Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to read it to you guys. I am a YouTube creator by choice. I enthusiastically choose to be a part of the creator space that has revolutionized communication, connection, and collaboration. I recognize my power to create, and I will use that power to positively impact others to the best of my ability. I believe that every person has a story worth sharing. I dedicate myself to educating and empowering people to utilize digital media to achieve meaningful goals. I will create content to help others find their voice, create their own content, and share stories that would otherwise go untold. I will teach others how they can use these tools in their own lives. I will be an example of the potential and opportunity of being a content creator that is accessible to all. I will be a content creator of honor and only create content that is positive, helpful, supportive, and encouraging. I will eagerly advocate for the creator space and continuously learn more about it with wonder and an open mind. I acknowledge that this path is ever evolving, and I will boldly discover and embrace the ups, the downs, and the unknown. I will not let any one person, comment, or situation deter me from my purpose. I accept the responsibility that comes with creating content online, and I will always strive for integrity with everything I share. I will respect my viewers' time and the trust that my audience has placed in me. I humbly and proudly create, knowing that I'm sharing something that only I can, that my voice matters, and that it's fun. Yay!
I love that.
I love
That's
it
so good.
too. I'm like really
Goosebumps
excited.
there.
Really?
Yeah, it's really good. I think you need to memorize it to be able to recite
It's
it.
really long though.
I know, but when my students were in Skills USA, they had to memorize the creed. That was a competition where they'd go in, I believe in the dignity of work, and like the whole thing.
Oh.
That was literally like a competitive event, was memorizing the creed.
So like I like this because you know what my favorite part of this thing is, like the first line is that I'm a YouTube creator by choice. I choose this.
Right.
Okay?
You could quit if you wanted.
I could quit. I could step away. No one is making me do this. Like I choose to do this. And like I thought a lot about, you know, there's a reason why the ups and the downs are in here, because we know that everybody's journey is different. And if I choose to do this, I accept that there are going to be downs. There are going to be unknowns. And that's part of it. And if I continue to choose to do this, I also have to accept that that's part of the territory. And just, you know, I'm really excited about it. And I don't know, it's like making me confident in this next chapter.
So
yes.
Is this something that people could borrow if they wanted to like use it as a template or an idea?
Yeah,
or...
I have to put it on our website, but
not necessarily word for word, but if someone wanted like their own version or starting point.
Totally. I'll put it on like Just Create More or something, or my website. Yeah.
You should get it. You should. A cool idea might be to like print it and frame it somewhere.
Oh,
put it right there.
That's cute. I know. I see.
Because
I need to have it. I need to see it every day.
Speaking of getting your footing, I don't mean to overstep my bounds, but do you want
Tom
to
knows
explain where like the idea for the Creed specific thing came from?
What was it?
Do you remember?
Uh-uh.
It was in the podiatrist.
Oh yeah. Well, I've been thinking about it for a while because
yeah, you've been thinking about it, but that like so.
But like Tom had to go get an MRI on his foot.
No, this was when I got the steroid shot.
Oh, he had to go get a steroid shot. Plantar
fasciitis.
Whatever.
Plus broken toe. Yay. So we were in the waiting room, and there was a big ornate frame there that was the podiatrist Creed, and like I was talking to the receptionist signing in or whatever, and Heather was like, you should check this out. And it was like, it was not about specifics of medical care. It was not about anything like that. It was all about what the doctor pledges to do for the betterment of their patients.
Oh, I love this.
And that kind of stuff.
Mihal, drop the word will.
What does that mean? Am?
No, I create content to help others, not I will create. I am an example of the potential, not I will be.
I be an example.
That's, See? Yeah, so the podiatrist, there was like a podiatrist like oath. And then it
was the Creed. It was the
Creed,
podiatrist
sure.
Creed.
And then David Goggins, if you haven't read his book, Can't Hurt Me, it's like really good. He talks about the Ranger Creed, the U.S. Army Ranger Creed, and like that is so well written that it was definitely an inspiration for this. And then I also looked at the Hippocratic Oath. That's like really insane, which I can't believe like every doctor like takes that oath, because it's like, even if you're not in the hospital and someone's like needs physical help, is
there a doctor on the plane?
Yeah, like you need to go help people. It's like really cool. Anyway, I'll put this somewhere at some point. Let me see.
I forget, there was an SNL thing this past weekend. It was on Weekend Update. There had been a thing on an airline flight. It was like Spirit Air or something, where like a woman went into labor and like a random passenger like delivered the baby. It was a medical emergency, and somehow somebody or a flight attendant or whatever like saved the person. And they're like Spirit Airlines, where it's not even worth asking if anyone on board is a doctor.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because they wouldn't be flying Spirit.
Might not have even been Spirit, but I thought that was funny.
Where can we copy that to add to Tom's ethics statement, which many of us had borrowed?
Well, that's why I was excited about it, because the ethics statement for me has sort of been a version of this. This is kind of cooler, but like
but
it's been a thing to refer back to that helps me figure out. It helps me navigate situations, and it helps me and potential like just everybody else, whoever is interested, viewers or potential partners or whatever, like we're all on the same page because of that. And it is a cool resource, and it's cool that people borrow it. And it made me excited that you like created something that is kind of filling that role for you. It's a different thing, but it's that guiding light, that North Star that, if you post this on your website, people can see where you're coming from. Okay.
So like, for example, I will respect my viewers' time and trust, and the trust that my audience has placed in me. Like, everyone can put that in theirs. I will not let any one person comment or situation. So when I get that negative comment later, you can just put this in my face and be like, yo, do not deter from your person.
What point is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
But there's a lot of stuff in here that, like, if your channel is about
modify it to suit your needs.
Like business coaching or whatever, then you could do like, I believe that everyone can build a business that they're proud of, or whatever it is, you could tailor it to
work for you.
You tailor it to your own thing. Let's see. But yeah, this is a great suggestion, Mihal. I'll do that. I love that. Maybe consider putting a number,
because then I can say like, hey, number 11.
I'm a performer, and I write myself every time I'm nervously preparing for a performance that I created the situation. I love that. Yeah, I am here because I chose to be.
Yeah, I did this.
Oh, you had a running career.
Oh, luckily that's feeling good. I also broke my like toe earlier this year, and that still is.
Oh my gosh, everybody.
Healed. Sucks. Luckily, like the shot really helped, and then I've been very rigorous about stretching multiple times a day, every day for the past like 3 weeks, and it has significantly helped. But I can't play the drums totally yet.
I'm just checking our notes to make sure we talked about everything. Yeah, we did.
Great.
What? Got
Felt
hot.
anticlimactic.
It got hot. It's hot in here. Dude,
Well-
this cord is not. Look at this.
Well, you know what? That's why there's a new one that's gonna arrive tomorrow through the magic of the internet.
All right, so I am starting my video uploads on my tutorial channel. I'm copying Tom every Thursday, starting in June. So next Thursday. I think I'm just gonna do same time too.
5:15 a.m. PST.
Yeah,
Cool.
AM PST. Yeah. All right, Tom. Well,
Is it time to clear the table?
interesting you mentioned ADHD. I know Potato Jet talks quite a bit on that. So do I.
Yeah, I think he, if I remember right, I haven't watched a ton of his videos lately, but I think he was recently diagnosed with it. And it was like the moment you had when you were 30 or whatever, when you figured out. And it was like, oh my God, like this explains everything.
I mean, I'm kind of glad I got diagnosed as an adult because I can't imagine what it would have been as a kid to, well, I'm sure it would have helped, but I'm just happy the way that it happened because I don't think I necessarily wanted like all that extra support and stuff. Like I remember my high school friend had severe ADHD and like her brain was so frazzled and the essay was due like at the end of recess and I type really fast. So she was reading it to me and I was typing it so fast. I was like, I don't have what you have. But yeah, anyway. I love the couples table so much. Thank you guys. Aw. Got diagnosed in my late 20s. Okay, so what do we talk about next week, Tom?
We have a whole list of topics.
We do have
so we
a
can choose
list.
whatever we feel is most relevant.
But if you guys have any suggestions, let us know. And if you also want to join us in our creator community, because the best thing to talk about like creator creeds and the YouTube journey, and if you need someone's feedback, is to just hang out with other people who are also on this journey with you. So check out justcreatemore.com. It's a $5 one-time fee to join the community, and we'd love to have you.
Yes.
Why are you giggling at me?
That was just the $5 thing.
Yeah.
It's more of a like to keep out the riffraff, not to exclude anybody. We have issues with spam. All right. Well, it's time to clear the table.
Talk to you guys later.
Hope you guys have a safe, happy, healthy rest of your week, and we will see you next time.
Bye, everybody.